My name is Jensen Karp, and I'm a sports fan. Or I guess I was a sports fan. I don't know. Can you follow something that doesn't exist? Sure, I guess there's some games on TV or whatever, but if I wanted to watch a realistic Michael Jordan documentary, I'd watch Space Jam again. So hard up for the teams and superstars I love, I continue to talk to athletes and sports industry professionals about what they're doing in quarantine, hoping to figure out if they miss competing as much as I miss watching it. This is the No Sports Report. Las Vegas odds makers have pegged 22-year-old Dodgers shortstop and second baseman Gavin Lux as the upcoming 2020 Rookie of the Year, and for good reason. A 2016 first-round draft pick, Lux was a beast on the minor league circuit, named Baseball America's Minor League Player of the Year in 2019, even though he was called up to the majors to end last season and join the Blue Crew in what they had hoped would be a long playoff run. It wasn't. But Lux still turned heads when he became the youngest player of all time to hit a pinch-hit home run in the postseason, a record once held by his teammate Cody Bellinger. And so everything was set to come up Lux come March 26th, the original opening day for baseball. But now the future All-Star awaits a call, trying to stay in shape and ready for what was to be his breakout season. We talk about how he's staying fit, what sneakers he's rocking during quarantine, if he thinks the longer this goes, the easier it'll be for the Astros, and since he's currently in the middle of a league-wide video game tournament playing MLB The Show, we get into what esports and traditional sports have in common. All this and bagels in my discussion with the next big thing, LA Dodger blue chip Gavin Lux.
Call from
Gavin Lux.
To accept, press 1.
Hello, Gavin.
Hey, what is going on? Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm a big Dodger fan. I'm a huge fan of yours, so this one I was very much looking forward to.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
I know you're from Wisconsin originally, but where are you currently contained during lockdown?
Yeah, I'm actually in Wisconsin right now.
Oh.
The weather's actually getting better.
Okay.
So we're doing all right now.
I feel like if you're going to be stuck inside your house, the dream is that the weather is terrible because you're like, oh, good, I'm missing this whole thing. But as soon as it starts to turn, which is like the next month, this is where you wish you were outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it starts to like tease you a little bit.
Who are you with during quarantine?
Just family, mom and dad. They basically told us not to really go to LA because everything's going to be shut down. So I just went back to Wisconsin.
And how's the family holding up?
Everybody's doing good. Yeah, I think both my parents are still working, so they're staying busy, and I'm losing my mind a little bit, but to be expected. But we're working through it. Everyone's healthy, so that's really all that matters.
How are you passing time?
So basically, working out only really takes up 2 hours out of my day, maybe a little more, a little less, depending on the day, but a lot of it has been video games, Netflix, napping.
No.
That's really it, man. Not a lot of good habits. You know, I should be reading a book or something, but that's kind of how I'm passing my time.
No judgment here. Talking about video games, you are very active on your Twitch channel. Currently, you are in the Show 20 Players League. You're representing True Blue right now. You're ranked in the power rankings on MLB at number 3. Who's the real competition? I know they have Joey Gallo at number 1, but who are you beat him already?
Yeah, Joey was legit. Joey was really good. He can really hit. I think he has like 7 home runs with himself or something just absurd. So he can really hit with him and the Rangers. Blake Snell's good. He beat me in extra innings. I should have won that one. And Bo Bichette is good too. There's like 5 or 6 good players, and then it might drop off a little bit. But you never know. I think it's still early, obviously, and guys get better. And it's only 3 innings, so a lot can happen. So you gotta bring it every game, pretty much.
Yeah, I was wondering too, like, is it more pressure when it's you? I mean, Gallo's doing so well with himself, but when like Bo Bichette's up to bat or when you're up to bat, do you feel more pressure because you're the actual player?
I think I lock it in with myself more. I don't chase as many balls, but I think I want to say I'm hitting like close to 400 with myself with some doubles. I got robbed of a home run the other day. It was like a perfect swing, and I hit a line drive off the wall. Should have been a home run. They didn't respect my juice too much there. But, I think I'm slapping the ball around pretty good.
I'm at 40 years old. You are 22 or 23?
I am 22.
You're 22.
I don't know why I had to think about that.
Once you hit over 21, it's all one age. Don't worry about it. I guess what I wanted to ask is like we're being told like, okay, video games like Fortnite and League of Legends and all these things are selling out Staples Center when they do tournaments. It's the new athletics. You're kind of right in between where you're actually playing true traditional athletics and video games sort of on a larger scale. What are the commonalities between the two?
Big competition, man. Any way you look at it, in a video game, it's still competition, and being an athlete and really probably any competitive person, you don't want to lose in anything, especially in like the show. You don't want to lose to one of your boys. Like I lost to Bo, who's a good friend. So I got to hear about that for a while. So yeah, I think just competition, man. At the end of the day, you're still playing against somebody and you want to win.
You said you've been spending some time on Netflix. What are you recommending? What have you watched so far during quarantine?
I rewatched Game of Thrones for the third time.
Oh God, third time.
Don't judge me. That's like my favorite show ever. So I watched that. I watched the last season of Peaky Blinders.
Okay.
I've watched a couple old movies, like Training Day is one of my favorites. I watched that again.
Great movie.
Really good movie. I'm trying to think what other shows I've watched. All American, crushed All American.
Did you jump into the Tiger King phenomenon?
I couldn't get into it, man. I think I can't get into like documentaries like that, and it was kind of weird the first episode or two. So I just kind of canceled it. I wasn't in on it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it as much either.
No, like for all the hype, I was just kind of whatever on it.
Yeah. So you said you get about 2 hours of training. What is training like right now with with your parents in Wisconsin? What are you doing to stay in shape?
Yeah, one of my good buddies owns a gym, so I have the keys to go in there pretty much whenever. It's a little bit of a drive, so I don't get in there every day. I try to get in there like 3 or 4 times a week, which is really all I need. And then I actually hit outside at my high school field with my uncle, who's like the BP guru. If I ever got in a home run derby, I would pick him to throw.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's really it. It's kind of hard to get into a consistent routine right now just because I feel like I'm depending on a lot of other people and how the weather is, and it's just kind of, it throws it off a little bit, but kind of doing the best that I can under the circumstances.
Yeah, you have a pretty good setup though. That compared to the other athletes I've talked to, like having a friend who has a gym that you can go in and out of, and having an uncle who could throw BP, that's definitely a better setup than most.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. Yeah, especially having the BP in the gym, man. Those are 2 essential things. And
yeah.
So I got that. That's really the main 2 things.
All right. Well, despite you being the minor league baseball player of the year last year, a top prospect going into this next season, and the fact that I ate 2 Uncrustables for dinner last night, we do have a lot in common. You'd be surprised.
What do you got?
All right. First, we are both major sneakerheads. All right.
Yeah.
I try to buy everything I can. I wanted to ask what your quarantine kicks are because I've been pretty much putting on my beaters. I feel weird putting on anything that's grailed or unworn. What have you been doing?
Do you really want to know what my quarantine kicks are around the house?
100%. 100%.
Crocs.
Ooh.
You cannot hate on me. Crocs. I'm trying to start a trend with the Crocs.
Right.
But they're flip-flops, man. They're comfortable to walk around in. Your feet get some air. So, I mean, I would never go out in public with them, but like around the house, absolutely.
Are you wearing gibbets? Are you putting the little, like, you know what I'm talking about? Those little jewels you can put on them?
Yeah, the little like accessories. No. They're bare.
All right.
The accessories might be a little too much for me, but they're comfortable, so I throw them on.
I was very lucky on sneakers and picked up the purple ones the other day.
Nice.
I just don't know when I'm ever going to wear good shoes again. I'm so nervous that I'm just buying these to be a weird doomsday prepper for like a kid who goes on StockX.
Right, I know. And there's so much time right now. It's like, well, I might as well go look online for shoes or go look clothes. You got nothing else to do.
I know. I was going to ask you that. I was going to say, does being home just get you on these like eBay and StockX and Grailed? Are you just spending too much time throwing money away now?
I would say throwing money away, especially that we're not getting. I mean, we're getting paid, so we're all right, but not getting consistent. What you would make during the season.
Yeah,
I'm pretty much saving my money, but I picked up some shoes. I can't lie.
All right, good. Then let's get into clothing. We are both also into streetwear. I've seen you in V-Lone and Fear of God in some of your YouTube videos. I have had major trouble with quarantine fits. I'm trying my hardest. Are you changing every day? Are you only wearing sweats? Don't make me feel too lazy here.
Yeah, so I saw the NBA guys joking around. They're still doing like their little runway inside their houses and dressing up. I thought that was funny, but right now, man, I'm just wearing sweatpants and like hoodies pretty much every day. And I mean, I haven't really left the house too much, so I just kind of throw on hoodies and comfy sweats and let it ride.
Yeah, it is very difficult to look your best, to have drip during quarantine. I look like garbage.
It's impossible. It's impossible. There's no one to look good for.
That's right. The commonalities continue. We both have the passion of hip hop. You have been very vocal lately about your love of Roddy Rich on social media. Tell people why they should be listening to Roddy.
What am I listening to him from? Do you say right now?
Yeah, sure. And why people should be into Roddy Rich.
I mean, Dodgers fans should be. He's from LA, and I don't really like too much West Coast rap, but like some of the newer stuff, obviously, and like the old Duke Dog and obviously Dr. Dre and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Roddy Rich is just like different. You know, he can sing a little bit. He can obviously rap. Like his flow's just a little different than how a lot of people sound nowadays. So he's my favorite rapper by far right now. Like, it's not even close.
That's an endorsement I'd be willing to get behind. You said that you have been sort of watching the NBA from social media. Are you a big basketball guy as well?
I follow it pretty close. I think I more follow it for guys' outfits. But I root for, I feel like I don't really root for a certain team. Like, I have certain players I like, and that's kind of who I root for. I don't really have a specific team.
Who do you have as best dressed?
Ooh, dude, LeBron. LeBron's so versatile. I don't know. I feel like LeBron has so many different like bits that he can throw together. It's not just like one style.
Yeah, he's always good. I mean, the kind of basic bitch answer is Westbrook, who I won't go with. But I do think also, though retired, Dwayne Wade was also very good.
Wade was great. You know, Anthony Davis is great.
Yeah.
Especially for a tall guy to be able to dress like that. Pretty impressive.
The one common thread between these guys, all very high contracts.
Yes. Money's not an issue.
More with Gavin after this. As you know, communities are experiencing these difficult times differently across the country. Feeding America is working tirelessly to ensure our most vulnerable populations, students who are out of school, the elderly, individuals whose jobs are impacted, and low-income families continue to have access to food and other needed resources during this emergency. The Feeding America Food Bank Network is committed to serving communities and people facing hunger in America during the COVID-19 pandemic. Right now, their greatest need is donations and support of local food banks. This series is committed to donating all proceeds from the show to Feeding America, and we hope that you can join us in this effort too. Find out how you can help at feedingamerica.org/COVID-19. Now, here's the rest of my chat with the Dodgers' Gavin Lux. Let's get into baseball. You had a great run with the Dodgers to end the season. Some real experience in the playoffs, including the record-breaking home run. You are at the core a very strong rookie class with Will Smith and Dustin May on the Dodgers. Do you see this postponement as sort of a derailment for a traditional development that you guys would normally have with spring training and getting in the at-bats and stuff?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for all of us was getting our feet wet in the playoffs and getting to experience that. I think that can only help us moving forward, being in those high-pressure situations and understanding what it takes to win in the playoffs. And having a lot of veteran guys like JT, obviously, Kersh. I mean, we have a ton, so that helps. And then Chase being around and giving advice. We have a lot of really good guys that we can look up to and talk to really in any situation we're in. But going into spring training, then I think you just have a little, not comfort, not like a bad comfort, but you just have better relationships with your teammates and you feel a little more comfortable talking to them, not just about baseball, but about everything. And I think that's the biggest thing is how fast you can get comfortable in the big leagues. And I think all the veteran guys make it really easy for us to transition into that.
Yeah, I mean, especially with some new signings, obviously with Mookie Betts and such. I mean, it's like that kind of familiarity you can't kind of fabricate.
Exactly. And he came into the locker room day one and fit right in. And then him and DP, both obviously really good players. You know, that's no secret. You can look up their awards on what they've won, but they're even better teammates and people. And I think that says more than just who they are as players.
And I know there's been a lot of talk about like a backup Arizona baseball playing plan or empty stadiums. I mean, all these things seem so weird to me as a guy who's been going to Dodger Stadium since I was like 4 years old. It's difficult to imagine what baseball would be like in either of these scenarios. Have you thought them out? What are your feelings on these scenarios?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to get creative any way you look at it. I think the Arizona idea is probably the best bet to be able to control kind of what's going on. But I think the issues are guys with families and kids, and it might be hard to be able to take them away from them for 4 or 5 months and have everybody agree to that. For a guy like me who has no kids and no wife or anything like that, it's not as big of a deal. I would do it. But you can't argue against not wanting to leave, your kids and family.
True.
It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, the Twitch rig can travel, so I'm fine with that. You can go. So there's been a lot of talk about you getting the starting job this season. There's a lot of great candidates on the team. You have been pretty vocal in the past about admitting that it takes a few swings for you to get back in the groove. Does spring training, does that bum you out as far as the chances of that starting job? Or, I know you like getting a little bit of a head start.
Yeah, I think that's what spring training's for, is to get ready for the season. And, you're not going to come in and feel great every day in the spring or in the season. It's just not realistic. And a guy like me, I definitely, some guys, might only need 15, 20 at bats. For me, it takes me, maybe 35, 40. So for me, early on in the spring, I don't really care about the results. You see people saying, oh, he's only hitting 220. He hasn't hit any doubles. He hasn't hit any home runs. And I just care about how my at bats are being taken. And if I'm on the barrel, and that's really all I care about, I'm not really worried about the results in spring training, because that's what it's for. It's just to get ready, for the season. And I think that's kind of how I approach it. And, that's just really what I do with it.
Totally. It would be unfair to at least acknowledge, I have to at least say something about how weird the 2020 baseball season was about to be, with the champions being caught for cheating, and now they're going to tour baseball fields, basically robbing wins of certain teams, especially the Dodgers being on top of that list. So 2 questions that I think are pretty mild. 1, will fans be just as passionate about booing them when baseball resumes? Is the pause in their favor, do you think?
I think, baseball fans don't forget. I know Dodgers fans definitely probably won't forget. So I think when the season starts, I don't think anything's going to change with that. I think it's going to stay the same.
Yeah, I'm hoping that first game is still in Anaheim, because that was close enough for us to go.
I saw some tweets about fans saying they're going to drive down to Anaheim anyways. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes, I'm bringing my trash can down there. Will you, this is my second question, will you allow players to rip off your shirt if you have a walk-off this upcoming season? You can state it now. We'll hold you to it.
Absolutely. If I hit a walk-off home run, you can rip my jersey off. You can literally do whatever. I'm all in on it.
Great. Good. I like having that out in the open. With the addition of Mookie, I really am optimistic about the season, and Price, obviously. No matter when it starts, if it's 2020, 2021, 2022, I don't care. What is your feeling about Dodger Blue in this upcoming season?
Man, you look at the roster, and before we got DP and Mookie, it was loaded. And then you had a Cy Young winner, 2 World Series winners, an MVP. Come on. It was already loaded as it is, and then you had 2 guys of those kind of caliber, and they fit right in. I think we all should be really excited, and I know everyone in the clubhouse is. Obviously, that's no secret, but at this point, I think we all just want to play and get back to playing baseball and then rolling for the fans. So whenever that is, we'll definitely be ready.
And have you been able to stay in contact with these guys?
Absolutely, yeah. We have a group chat rolling, and guys are sending their creative workout videos every day and busting Joe up a little bit for breaking his window, and then it's all comedy and it's all fun and games. But yeah, we're staying in touch for sure. I'm
very interested to know what memes Kershaw sends along to his friends.
I don't think Kershaw sent too many memes, but Kershaw's sneaky, really funny. If you're around Kershaw a lot, Kershaw's one of the funniest dudes I think I've really been around.
That's great. So we like to end with something a little positive and then some stupid suggestions I'll give you. First off, is there anything that you think we should keep from these days with the coronavirus, this quarantine, that we could do moving forward? Something that we think should live on past these weird times?
I think, washing your hands, personal hygiene. I'm not going to say that I didn't take it seriously. Obviously, I did. But, I'm sure if you go into an airport bathroom, you see guys never washing their hands. Mm-hmm. Personal hygiene, I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
That's a serious thing. And you see everyone washing their hands more now and taking care of themselves. So I think that needs to translate over.
Well, I think that's very good, but I'm going to stick with Crocs indoors. I think that's a good one.
Crocs indoors, too. Yes. Yes. I went with the serious route, but Crocs indoors and outdoors might be a real thing.
Outdoors is a hot take, but I'm sticking with you on indoors.
You got to help me out, though. It can't just be me.
I'll hold the flag. Suggestions wise, these are some things I think you can get into during quarantine. It sounds like we'll be in here for at least another month. So I've come up with some just things that you can get into. I think your YouTube channel is obviously a great place to go. I've been watching some of the videos you put up, but here's some other ones. We're all in a very tough predicament with haircuts. My wife gave me a haircut last week. She had never touched clippers before. She had never touched scissors before. She wouldn't even watch a YouTube tutorial, no matter how hard I begged her to do so. Surprisingly,
oh God,
no, she did a pretty good job. It was kind of remarkable.
Really?
I was shocked.
Really?
But what I wanted to bring to you, I saw a photo from your childhood. It's being passed around the net of you with a wonderful mullet.
Yes.
Tell me about this photo.
So it started like our high school baseball season. I think I was like a sophomore, freshman, and our whole season, our whole team had mullets. And I think I was a freshman, so I went to school as a freshman with a mullet. And I just kind of carried it over into the travel summer ball league, and our whole team had it. So I was like, whatever, I was the freshman on varsity. I can't say no.
Yeah.
So that's and I just kept riding it out because it looked good in the hat.
It did.
So I just said, screw it. I'm just going to rock it.
Well, that is my first suggestion. Grow the baby back out, party in the back, business in the front, Joe Dirt style. I'm suggesting you're not going to be able to get a good haircut anyway, so maybe look into it.
Exactly. I'll grow the hair out and then just taper the sides. I can do that myself. That's easy.
Good. That's my first one. My second one, you're into streetwear like I am. I want to suggest a new brand, one you might not know. This is a real one. It's a clothing company called Camp High. All right. Do you know about Camp High at all?
I don't believe so.
All right, great. Founded by a guy named Greg Dashin, who was instrumental in early Burton, and Greg Johnson, who was a designer for early Supreme.
Okay.
They make a lot of hoodies and sweatsuits. They have a high-end loungewear where there's like patterned kimonos and quilt-like pants. Maybe you might not get into that, but you could look cool in the locker room with it. But they have a ton of hoodies and sweatpants. I bought some sweatpants this week. Some of the stuff makes you look like the coolest bad guy in a Bruce Lee movie, but it's all cut and sew. All hand-dyed. You will like it. It's called Camp High.
Camp High.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to check it out as soon as I'm checking it out immediately.
Perfect. Putting it down. All right. My last one is a business idea for you. I want to really emphasize that it is food related, but I understand a restaurant's probably not the best place to go right now, at least till we get in the clear. But this is just delivery service. And it is, I don't know how good it's going to do in Wisconsin. I also don't know if it's going to do well in Arizona if you end up playing the whole season there. But I would like to recommend a restaurant delivery shop called Bagels and Lux.
Bagels and Lux, and we're rocking the same name here? Come on.
Well, sort of.
Where's it at?
Well, you own it, and it's going to be in LA, which I feel like I'll give you the name. It's something I came up with, but I feel like it would be very good for you. And maybe we sell streetwear in it just so you're passionate, because I don't know how passionate you are about bread. But I do think that you opening a bagel store in LA called Bagels and Lux would be pretty successful.
I mean, it sounds good. Bagels and Lux.
Yep.
I'm in. You're a genius. You know that?
Thank you. I'm Jewish, so I'm almost handing you the keys. I'm being like, allow you. We could put Dodger dogs in the bagels. I don't know. I'm now spitballing too much information, but at least it's a start.
No. You know how good that sounds? I would crush one right now.
Thank you. Gavin, thank you so much for talking to me. Please stay healthy and safe, and I cannot wait to see you back on the field. Go Dodger Blue.
No doubt, man. You said it. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
The No Sports Report is produced and distributed by Treefort Media. The show is executive produced by Kelly Garner, Lisa Ammerman, and me, Jensen Karp. Our series producer is Matthew Kugler. Tom Monahan is our senior audio engineer and sound supervisor, with additional production help from Tim Schauer, June Rosen, and Haley Mandelberg, with production and editing by Jasper Leak. Our theme music is composed by Spilkus. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, please subscribe, rate us, and review us on Apple Podcasts. You have nothing else to do. Send it to your friends, tweet, share, post about it, do whatever you can. And please visit feedingamerica.org. And if you're able to make a donation, any amount will help make a difference. And you can learn more about other ways to help on their website. For more information on the No Sports Report, links to the socials, and for our show transcripts for the hearing impaired listeners, please go to treefort.fm. Be safe and be well.